Severus Snape might be a black guy in the upcoming Harry Potter show. Is it because Snape cast a race transition spell?
Wingardium Blackiosa.
Or because he drank a polyjuice potion? Well, we don't know the reason, but it likely has something to do with HBO's goal of being committed to inclusive, diverse casting. Defenders of this casting choice are celebrating it as a step toward inclusivity. They also note that Snape's race is never specified in the books. Critics counter that Snape is described as a pale, pallid, and sallow-skinned person, none of which are terms that you'd use to describe the actor who's being cast for this role, Paapa Essiedu. As for me, I grew up with Harry Potter. I remember waiting until midnight for the next book to drop. And it's also cool, as a black person, to see Paapa having success. We even have similar last names. And I get that racially diverse casting can offer new perspectives. But this is forced. Harry Potter is a part of history. Many millennials' fondest childhood memories are with these characters. As a little kid in the Bronx, at no point did I ever think, there needs to be more black people in these books. Fans weren't complaining about Harry Potter's diversity back then. We were just happy to experience the wizarding world as it was. Making Snape black might help HBO's diversity push, but it's coming at the cost of being true to the source material. And overlooking that by saying Snape's race was never specified when he was described in terms that you would never use for a black person is evasion, not explanation. Now, if HBO wants more racial diversity, they can do it with characters who don't have such a defined physical appearance. But my bigger frustration is this. I'm tired of seeing shows and video games lecture me about how the world ought to be. I don't need a black Snape any more than I need a black Legolas or a white Mace Windu. And when you change one part of history, you affect other parts of it. For example, now James Potter bullying Snape as a youth has a racial dynamic that wasn't in the books. Is that now racist? Well, it needs to be reconciled. And if you think race isn't central to Snape's role, I agree. But we can't be expected to not see color on one hand while HBO emphasizes color on the other. HBO promised us when they announced this show that it would be a faithful adaptation to the books. This is causing us to lose faith. And even if J.K. Rowling supports this because her ideas have changed, the history she made hasn't. So please, to HBO and all of Hollywood, let us cherish our childhoods. Let us enjoy a fantasy world that is separate from the modern world. And stop using old art to serve new agendas.